There's breaking news out of Melbourne this morning with a driver dead and police on the hunt for a group of suspects on the run after a major crash in the city's east. Let's go straight to Steph Ferrier, who's at the scene. Steph, good morning. What happened here?
Good morning, Lisa. Yes, well, this is the result of a tragic situation here in Burwood, which is about 14 kilometres east of Melbourne CBD. There's still glass on the road, and you can see behind me how this brick and wooden wall has been obliterated by the force of the impact. That was a sedan believed to be driven by somebody who was completely innocent, random, going about their business, and that male driver has died. This happened on the corner of Highbury and Warrigal Roads here around 7 o'clock last night. Now, we understand that that was one car involved, and then the stolen car, which was the Jeep four-wheel drive. Well, there have been two girls aged 15 who were arrested at the scene from that car, and they are now under police guard in hospital. We don't know the extent of their injuries. It's not believed to be serious, but obviously there was a big hunt as well for a group of males who fled this stolen car just after this collision. Police had their helicopter up, also the dog squad, public order response as well, in an attempt to try to find them. But at the moment, they still haven't actually tracked any more of these people down. However, major collision investigation unit detectives have been here just trying to get some details and some clues as to exactly what's gone on. It's obviously going to be one point of the investigation as to whether or not this stolen car has run a red light here, which has caused this accident and forced this other car into the wall behind me. But they are asking anybody with any dash cam footage or information about this to contact them.
And this comes amid a spate of car thefts in the city's east, doesn't it?
Yeah, so just recently, in fact only last month, police announced that they'd recovered more than 1,000 stolen cars in Melbourne's east and southeast, and they are saying that that's totalling around $30 million. They say that they actually arrested some 1,500 people in relation to those thefts. More than half of those were teenagers, and at the time police also said that financial considerations weren't the motivation for these thefts, that it was simply a lot of these teenagers wanting to go out and go joyriding after stealing cars. We also know that youth crime has spiked to a 10-year high among 10 to 17-year-olds here in Victoria, jumping to 22,000 offenders. And that's prompted police to actually establish new units to be able to try to discourage those high-risk individuals from becoming repeat offenders.
All right, Steph, thank you for the details. Tragic scene there.
Let's head north now, and a 14-year-old boy is under police guard in hospital this morning after his student was stabbed at Sydney University. Jessica Rendell is across the story for us this morning. Jess, good morning. Some massive news yesterday as it was breaking.
Indeed it was, Michael. Well, yesterday this all began at around 8 o'clock in the morning when a 22-year-old student was walking here at Sydney University. He was stabbed in the neck with a kitchen knife allegedly by a 14-year-old boy who police say was not known to him. Now, emergency services were called to the scene. They treated the 22-year-old student for a single stab wound to the neck. He was then taken to Royal Prince Alfred Hospital in a serious but stable condition, and we're hearing now from medical authorities that he has fully recovered and has since been released. Now, as for that 14-year-old suspect, he was wearing camouflage at the time in what's been described as a Defence Force uniform, but police say there are no known links to the military. However, he was known to police and other government agencies. He fled the crime scene by bus, but was caught a short time later and arrested. He was taken to hospital where he was treated for cuts to his hand and is currently undergoing mental health assessments under police guard.
And just what do authorities believe was the motive at this stage behind the attack?
Well, that's the million-dollar question that they're trying to answer, Michael. They're unclear of the motive or the ideology behind this attack, but they say that it's not religiously motivated. Now, they are looking into whether or not this is a terrorism-related incident, and officers from the Counter-Terrorism and Special Tactics Command are working on the case. In the meantime, though, they have been warning parents of the growing risk of online radicalisation. They say that they've seen quite a bit of this in the community lately, particularly on social media. Take a listen.
There's no doubt, nationally and internationally, the toxic nature of the internet is influencing people, particularly young people. Over the last 5 years, we've seen the cohort of young people, 12 to 16, really emerge in counter-terrorism investigations. Tragically, sometimes we see them, end up in an event. Most of the time, we're able to disrupt those young people.
Now, Michael, the 14-year-old boy is yet to be charged as police continue to search for a motive. In the meantime, though, here at Sydney University, authorities are considering ramping up security, including having a police presence here on campus, but they say there is no ongoing risk to the public.
OK, Jess, thank you.
All right, Emma's here with the rest of the day's news. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning to you all. The federal opposition leader Peter Dutton thinks the time is right to introduce powers to potentially break up Australia's two big supermarkets. The coalition has announced it will introduce divestiture powers that could be used as a last resort to manage bad behaviour and address price gouging. At least 116 people have been killed in a stampede at a religious gathering in India. It happened at a Hindu event in a village in Uttar Pradesh. The cause of the tragic crash is not immediately clear. New laws to protect retail workers have come into force in Western Australia. People who assault retail workers now face up to 7 years in jail or 10 if the offender is armed or in a group. Repeat shoplifters could also be jailed for up to 2 years. There are big changes afoot at Brisbane's lone Pine Koala Sanctuary. After 97 years, it'll no longer let visitors hold koalas. A long list of politicians, sports stars and celebrities have been photographed hugging the marsupials there.
All right, let's take a quick look at the global markets, and the Aussie futures are heading up. Stronger day on the Dow. The Aussie dollar sitting at 66.7 US cents. Brent crude down slightly, gold off a little as well.
And after nearly a month of searching, Victoria Police have found Gary. Gary's a 1.5 metre tall gorilla statue stolen from a retirement community. A police chopper was brought in to spot Gary, I love the name, at a house in Melbourne's north before a search warrant was issued. Gary will now be returned to his rightful position at the entrance of the retirement community this afternoon.
So many questions.
I want to know why a retirement village
Yes.
said, you know what, we need a statue and it needs to be a gorilla.
Well, anything that brings joy and happiness, I'm guessing, to said members of the
Maybe.
retirement village.